As a parent of a child coming to Rockcastle, I would tell you that we have very experienced staff and staff who love children. In the past year, we've had 9 patients that have been totally weaned from mechanical ventilation.
We have a larger pediatric population than we've ever had before in the facility, and we're just seeing more and more success in getting those patients home and getting them rehabbed back to their families.
Staff treat the children like family. Most of these kids are with us for a while, 6 months to up to 5 years. The kids get really comfortable with it. At first, most of our kids are really scared, so we get to know them. We get to know their families. We all just become like one big family.
The weaning program consists of decreasing the amount of ventilation that's provided by the ventilator on a weekly basis.
Each weaning process is different. We tailor it to each individual patient's needs so that we don't go by a protocol. We look at their age, we look at their height, their weight, everything about the patient so that we tailor it to them.
So it is based solely on each and every patient's information and their data. They typically have lots of different multi-specialists that are helping.
So we do use a multidisciplinary approach here with the kids. It takes all hands on deck, takes a village to raise a kid, as they say. So from a therapy standpoint, we offer speech therapy, physical therapy, and occupational therapy. It looks like gross motor skill training, fine motor skill training, sensory adaptations, speaking valve use, strength and endurance, cardiopulmonary training. We try to make our therapy as fun as we can and creative as we can, and not like a task that they have to go and do. When you see one of these kids reach a milestone, I think it's the next best thing to seeing your own child reach a milestone, even if it's something as small as we reach for a toy for the first time. It may be a little victory, a small win, but for these babies that have been through so much, the small wins are huge.
As far as school goes, they do have teachers here on site that contract with us through the school system. So they can go to the classroom on site for school instruction, and then the teachers can also go to the room to work with them individually. And then as far as social interaction, we do have a daycare here on site, the York House. We can take them down there with appropriate staff member on hand to be with them during that time. Our visitation hours are pretty open now, so families can be here as much as they want between the hours of 8 and 6.
We highly encourage our families to visit as often as possible. We find that that's just vital for our patients' success and overall well-being to have their families actively involved in their care.
And another big part, I think, is the communication with the families and the communication with the providers, just to make sure that all the needs on the day are met.
We like to tell our families that, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're worried about your kid, just call.
The day of discharge, when the child is leaving, we have a discharge celebration, is what we call it. Staff are all present, all the staff that have worked with the child during their stay here are there, just celebrating this milestone for them and their family.
It feels like a part of us is leaving when they leave, because most of them have been around for a while, but we're really happy that they get to go home and live a normal life.
Every person that works in this organization is highly invested in the success of your loved one. We all want them to come here, we want them to do well, we want them to succeed, and we really do work as a team to make that happen. From clinical staff to non-clinical staff, we really do try to work together to make sure that every need they have is being not only anticipated but being met.
So a lot of times when the baby's family are really involved, they want to know how successful we are in weaning. And that's why we take pride that we are at around 50% of weaning our individuals.
We do everything that we can to make sure that the patient is happy, because we think that happiness makes their overall health process better. So we try on an individual basis to meet each and every patient's needs.